Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we will discuss about the transfer function of a DC series machine. As the name indicate, in a series machine, you are going to connect your armature winding in series with your field winding. So the connections are like this. Let's suppose that this is the field resistance, inductance of the field winding, resistance of the armature winding, and the inductance of the armature winding, and this will represent the induced EMF, that is the back EMF in the case of a motor. So you are going to apply the terminal voltage over here. Let's suppose that voltage is VA. So when you apply the voltage, the machine draws a current according to the load that is connected with that one. So we should represent it as IA. So that is shown over here in this diagram. These two windings, the armature and the field winding, they are connected in series over here. So the back EMF will be over here, that is EG, and you are going to provide power to this machine with the help of the power electronic converter that will control the voltage at the machine terminal with the help of the adjustment of the control voltage that is applied to this machine. And let's suppose that the gain of that power electronic converter is K2. Right. So this is basically the reference voltage that you are going to apply, or the control voltage, and this chopper will be taking the supply from the DC source, or from the, if it is a rectifier, then it will be taking a supply from the AC source. Okay, now if we look at this side, when you are going to apply the voltage to the machine, it is going to start rotate, and let's suppose that the speed is in this direction and the torque is developed in this direction. So the load torque will act in the opposite direction, that is indicated over here. This is representing the rotational mass of your machine, that is J, and the friction will be there over here, and the frictional constant is B, the air friction. Okay, now if we look at the equations which are going to describe this machine, first equation is this one, VA is equal to K2 into R, where K2 is the gain of this chopper, VR is the control voltage that you are going to apply. So output voltage is VA, so that is applied at the terminal of the machines. And the back EMF over here is the function of the speed. As the speed will increase, there will be more induced EMF in the armature winding or in the field winding as well. Both of them are in series. Okay, so EG is proportional to omega, and it depends upon the magnitude of the current in this winding. More current will be there, more flux will be there, right? Flux is proportional to IA, and when more flux will be there, there will be the more induced EMF. So EG is proportional to flux, which is proportional to IA. So with this, we can write down an equation that EG is equal to some constant kV into IA into omega, assuming that our machine is operating in the linear way. So we have this equation for the back EMF, or the induced EMF in the winding, armature and the field winding. Then we can write down the differential equation for the loop, this one. So this applied voltage VA must be equal to the voltage across the resistance of this winding, that is RA plus RF, and let's suppose that is equal to RM. That is shown over here. RM into IA is the voltage across the resistance, and then LdI by dt is the voltage across the inductor. So there are two inductances over here, armature inductance and the field inductance. So combine them together, I can say that Lm is equal to La plus Lf. So combining them together, I can represent it with Lm. So the voltage across the inductor will be given by this term. This was the voltage across the resistance, and then the back EMF that is developed over here. The sum of all of these voltages must be equal to your applied voltage VA. So we can write down the armature voltage equation. Okay, then let's come towards the torque that is developed in the series machine. We know that for a DC series motor, the developed torque is given as some constant Kt into Ia into If. But in this case, Ia and If are same because they are connected in series. So I can say Td is equal to Kt into Ia square. So this is our torque equation. And you can say the torque depends upon the square of the armature current. So your series machine develops very high torque as compared to your shunt machines or the separately excited machines, because over here the armature current is quite high. And if you compare it with this one, in the case of separately excited machine, this if is very small and ia is large, so product is a smaller one as compared to the square of the current. So DC series machines uh, give you the high torque, and that's why they are used in those applications where you require high torque. For example, the cranes, elevators, right? So over there you require very high torque. Maybe in the traction system as well. In the old traction system, those have been extensively used. So where you want to generate high torque, you want to develop high torque, you can use the DC series machine. And then the mechanical equation that this developed torque should be equal to the torque because of this mass inertia J and the friction that is over here and the load torque that you are going to apply on your machine. Now if you look at this equation, the torque equation, this one, so this is the nonlinear equation. So you can linearize these machines by considering a small perturbation at the operating point. So let's suppose that the operating point, the average value of that point is given by these ones, average value of the parameters, and then the perturbation, a small change, is represented by these terms. For example, Eg, the induced EMF or the back EMF that is over here, that will be equal to Eg0 plus the small variation that will be there across the operating point, right? So you can represent your Eg like this. Similarly, the Ia will be represented by this equation. This is representing the change in current at the operating point, a small perturbation at the operating point. Similarly, the armature voltage and the developed torque, speed, the reference voltage and the load torque. So we are going to consider a very small change across the operating point in these parameters. So as the change is very small, so the square of the any change, for example, if I consider Ia over here, if I take the square of that one, that will be very small. So during the simplification where you will get the Ia square, you will neglect those terms as that will be very small and will be considered as 0. Similarly, the product of two very small quantities will be even more smaller. So delta Ia and delta omega, if you linearize these equations, these terms will appear. So you can consider these terms as 0 to simplify your equations. Okay, now if we linearize these ones, so we can write these equations like this. First of all, just consider that one Va is equal to K2 into Vr. So delta Va can be written as K2 into delta Vr. Then linearizing this equation, Eg is equal to Kv into I into omega. Right, so in this, first of all, replace this Ia with this one and omega with this one, right, and Eg with this equation. So when you are going to replace Ia with the value at the operating point and the small perturbation in the vicinity of that one, in the vicinity of the operating point, so that is delta Ia. Similarly for the speed and similarly for the induced EMF, so you can write it like that, delta Eg. Okay, so now rearranging this equation, simplifying this one, you will get this expression, and this you can see delta Ia and delta omega is there. So as these two are the very small quantities, this will be 0. Similarly, what you can say, that this value will be, if you simplify that one, if you look at this part, that Eg is equal to kV into Ia into omega naught. So this is basically the value at the average value at the operating point, and these are the changes. These are because of the change in the speed, change in the current. So the delta Eg only, the change in the induced EMF, will be given by this part. This part will be neglected. Only these will be uh, contributing toward the change in the back EMF. So the linearized version of the back EMF equation is this one. Similarly, for the next equations, you can linearize them using the same method. So you can write these linearized equation. Now if you take the Laplace transformation of this one, so Laplace transform of this one will be given by this expression. Similarly, for the second equation, the Laplace transform version is this one. The Laplace transform of this Ia, these are the two variables, Ia and the delta omega. Okay. So all of the above equations are represented in S domain with the help of this set of equations. Okay, now from these equations we can develop the block diagram for the DC series motor. Delta VR is the input voltage, change in the input voltage that is applied by your converter at the terminal of your machines. Or sorry, this is the reference, change in the reference voltage delta VR, that is decided by the controller, right? And that change of the reference voltage is amplified by your power electronic converter, and the voltage at the terminal of your machine is changed, and that changes delta VA. So that can be defined with the help of this equation. Okay, then from all of these equations, as we have already done for the shunt and the separately excited motor, you can develop this diagram. This is the control diagram. So here you can see the load torque. This may be considered as the external torque disturbance that is coming from this equation. So from this equation you can write that delta TDS minus delta TLS divided by delta omega S, that is equal to JS plus B, and I can write it delta omega S by delta TDS minus delta TLS, that is equal to 1 over JS plus B. And if I take B common out, so I can write it J by BS plus 1, and J by B is equal to Tm, the mechanical time constant, so I can write it B Tm plus 1, right? So our output is delta omega S, and the input is the difference of these two, right? That is Td minus TLS, where TLS is the load torque or load disturbance. So that is related with omega S by this transfer function that you can see over here. Okay, so let me call it equation 5. So from equation 5 we have worked out for this part of the control diagram, and then using this equation 4, from this current IA, if you multiply it with 2 kV into I naught, that is this transfer function, so you will get delta TDS. So this part is from equation 4, and then using, let's suppose this is equation 3. So from equation 3 I can write that delta VAS minus delta EGS divided by IAS, delta IAS, that is equal to RM plus SLM. So from here I can say that delta IA by delta VAS minus delta EGS, that is equal to 1 over RM plus SLM. And if I take R common in this one, so I can write it like that, 1 by Rm 1 plus SLM over Rm. So Lm over Rm is the time constant of your armature circuit. So I can represent this equation as 1 over Rm into STA plus 1, where this is the time constant of your armature. So this part, as you can see, is coming from the equation 3, right? And at the input of that, what we need, if you look at it, delta VA minus delta EG. So delta VA is coming from the converter and the EG is basically the change in the back EMF. So now we are going to model it with the help of this equation, right? So let me call it equation 2. So I'm going to change the color. Let's suppose that we represent it with this. Okay, so this is our equation 2 now. So how to implement equation 2? So equation 2 is that delta EG S, that is equal to KV into IA0 into delta omega S plus omega naught into delta IAS. This is the equation 2. So in this we have two parts. First part is this one, KV into IA0 into delta omega S. Right, so delta omega S is coming from here. If we multiply it with this part, this is the gain over here. So over here you will get, let me call it part A over here, and then with that we are going to add this term, that is KV into omega naught into delta IS. So delta IS is over here, so passing it through the gain KV into omega naught and then adding it with the term A that is coming from here. So let me call it term B. So term B is coming from here, added together. So this is going to be added over with this delta VA with the negative sign over here, right? So we can implement this equation. For that we were requiring delta VA minus EGS. So delta VA is coming from here and minus EGS is obtained from these two parts. Okay, so now I can say that these two are representing the equation 2, right? And where this equation 1 is used, this is basically, this is the change in the control voltage or the reference voltage, and then here is the gain of your converter K2, and it is going to apply the required change of voltage at the machine terminal. So you can model your DC series motor with the help of this diagram, and then you can represent this diagram for the voltage and for the torque, and then you can look at the combined effect of change in voltage and torque at this speed, because there are two inputs over here. As you can see, one is the load torque and another one is the reference voltage over here. So first of all we are going to relate that how the reference voltage is going to impact the speed. So for that we will be considering this part as 0. We are going to apply the superposition. First of all, considering it 0, we will look at the impact of the voltage at this speed, and for that you will be having this block diagram. As this is 0, so this summer block will be excluded and delta TDS will be directly given to this transfer function. You can develop the net equivalent transfer function of your series motor, DC series motor, from here, delta omega S related with the VR of S, that is the control voltage. So you can develop that transfer function. Let's suppose that is G1 of S. And the second transfer function that will be relating this torque input with the omega, for that you will be considering this one as the 0. So if you consider this one as the 0, so your input will be the torque. So from for this particular condition you will get this control diagram. Your input is torque, your applied voltage will be considered as 0 in this case, and here is the speed output. So let's suppose that you are going to get delta omega S with respect to delta TLS, and that is transfer function G to S. And now if you want to look at the speed, So the delta omega s will be because of the voltage as well as because of the torque. So because of the voltage, delta VRS, change in the reference voltage or in the control voltage, you will have to multiply it with G1s from this equation. And to look at the effect at the speed because of the torque, you will be considering this part. So delta TLS into G2S. So this will give you the net effect over the speed because of the voltage as well as the low torque that you are going to apply. So if I summarize this video, we have discussed the transfer function of the DC series motor, and we have seen that it is a non-linear one, and then we have linearized those equations, and with the help of those linearized equations, we have developed the block diagram for the uh, DC series motor. And in the previous video, we have discussed about the current controller and the speed controller for the separately excited machine. Same concept can be applied over here to develop the control loop, speed control loop for the DC series motor, and you can design the speed controller for the DC series machine. So that's all from this video. Thank you very much.